Hello and welcome to This is Portsmouth, the show all about the people and places within this unique island city.
With today being our last televised show of 2019, we're more than excited than ever to showcase some of the fascinating stuff this city has to offer. And today's show is pretty jam-packed. Here's what we've got coming up.
We'll be cooking a scrumptious Christmas recipe in studio with the help of our first guest, Mweza Nzegu, a keen environmentalist, local entrepreneur and an ex-Bake Off contestant. He'll be presenting us with a personal recipe to make some delicious mince pies to get you in the festive spirit.
Then, while the oven's preheating, we'll be meeting a Portsmouth-based dance group who are teaching people across the city how to bust a move with breakdancing classes for all ages. Not that I know what bust a move actually means.
Moving on from there, we'll be journeying across the city to find the people, groups and movements that are making a conservational difference as we talk all about things that are green in Portsmouth.
Following that, Mweza Nzegu will be joining us back in the studio to discuss his work to make Portsmouth greener.
Finally, the breakdancing troupe will be seeing us off with a performance here in the studio. So it looks like we've got a lot to cover.
So we best get started.
Yes, we should. My name is Josh.
And I'm Amelia.
And this is Portsmouth.
As we enter into the winter months, you'd be forgiven for wanting to stay warm and stay indoors. But even these darker months, there's never a shortage of events to get involved with in Portsmouth.
That's right. So to kick off the show, we wanted to quickly highlight some of the best activities Portsmouth has on offer over the next couple of months.
Some of these events are sadly exclusive to winter months, while others are available all year round.
So if the cold is getting to you, here are some of our picks for events and places that are sure to help you feel that little bit warmer.
Let's get cracking then. This is Portsmouth Culture. First up, we have the Victorian Christmas Festival, which is actually celebrating its 20th anniversary as we speak. Having been around since 1999, the festival has become a staple of Portsmouth's festive season.
And as we speak, Portsmouth's historic dockyard is bustling with market stalls, street performers and even Father Christmas himself, all suited up in his traditional green attire.
Did you say green?
I did, yeah, that's right. Prior to donning his bright red attire, Saint Nick was green, but this did change in the 1880s, although I think we might be getting a little off track.
The festival is mostly outdoors, so if you want something a little cosier, the outside inn bar on Middle Street is always a good choice, offering a wide variety of street food as well as regular event nights such as stand-up comedy and jazz.
The outside inn bar opened in April of this year and they've already made a big impact. Their venue is entirely cashless and plastic free. How's that for a bit of environmentally friendly?
Well, don't get ahead of yourself, Josh, because we'll be talking about Portsmouth's environment later in the show, remember?
Yes, that's right. Well, depending on your skills on the ice, you may be interested to know that the Guildhall Ice Rink has returned again for another year.
Also making a comeback, the Christmas market on Commercial Road has opened this month and will be available throughout the entire month of December.
Oh, they haven't brought back that singing moose, have they? I've never liked the way he looked at me.
His name is Olaf, the talking, singing, somewhat thrilling, never chilling Portsmouth Christmas market moose. And yes, he's back again to fill the air with delightful festive cheer.
Market moose. Just one last thing, if you fancy yourself as the next Michael Bublé, then check out the University of Portsmouth's Carol service on the 9th of December. There is tons more to do in the city of Portsmouth, regardless of the time of year or if the weather is severe. But with that said, I think it's time to move on.
In the studio now, Ethan's here with ex-Bake Off contestant Mweza Nzegu, who's going to be taking us through his recipe for some festive mince pies. Take it away, guys.
Mweza, thank you, guys. I probably should say thank you first. And Mweza, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Glad to be here.
Good to have you here, actually. Mince pies, this is what we're aiming for.
Yes.
As you can see, they look amazing. These, I know these ones you made a couple of days ago. That's the plan.
That is the plan.
Let's see what we end up with. I'm a little bit useless in the kitchen.
It's all on you, Ethan. We're going to give it a go.
Thanks for the pressure. So, festive favourite, where do we start?
Yeah, so these mince pies are a bit different because we've put a frangipane mixture on top with some almonds,
Nice.
just to make it more like a kind of almond cake plus the mince pie. We're going to start with the rolling out the
dough.
pastry dough, which I've already made there.
Yes.
So the first thing to do is to bang it in the middle and then like this.
Like that?
Yeah,
Harder?
that's right. Yeah, that's it. And then over here as well to kind of flatten it out.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I'll keep doing, or am I
Just do a gentle pounding like that. Okay. All right. Okay. That's
I
enough.
like you're laughing at my
I'm
technique.
laughing with you. Okay, that's enough now. Do you want to pick it up and turn it? Get some
That way?
flour under
Or
there.
this way?
No, just to the side, 90 degrees.
This is actually.
90 degrees like this. There we go.
We'll get there.
Okay. Now just to start gently rolling from the middle. So you always roll from the middle outwards. Okay, that's it. Right, let me get some flour and just.
Oh, we're getting there.
Okay, do you want to roll that way as well towards you? And I'll sprinkle some more flour on here.
And what type of thickness are we aiming for?
We're aiming for 3 millimetres thickness.
Is that quite thin?
That's quite thin. Okay. Now here's a technique. If you put the rolling pin there, and we're going to roll it up like this, and then as it gets thinner, it gets harder to move. And then we're going to just roll it out, turn it 90 degrees again.
There we go.
Yeah. So let me get some flour under there, and then just roll that out there.
Oh, that top expert tips
Yeah.
there.
So if you just roll it from the middle again, you're trying to get the same 3 millimetres.
Oops.
Yeah. And then we'll soon be ready to cut out. Okay, so see it's a bit thicker in the middle. Just start in the middle and roll back towards you. That's it. Okay.
I mean, this is harder than I thought it'd be. If I'm honest, this is harder than I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
I think my food tech days are behind me.
I think we're ready to cut out.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so this is about 10 centimetres.
It's quite thin, actually.
Just get as many of those as you can, and then we'll re-roll them out
And then
again.
try to get some more.
Yeah.
So literally just like that.
Yeah, just cut out all of them, as many as you can. Make them really close together so that you don't waste any dough. And while you do that, I'll just butter these muffin tips.
And then we are literally just putting them from, once we've buttered that, we'll just be lining the...
Yeah.
Is it worth just doing one of them really quickly just before we move on?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just do the one.
Let's do one. Give me 1 second.
Just quickly. I'll tell you what, actually, we'll do that in the break. Whilst we've got a bit of time, we'll come back to that later on.
Yeah.
For now, we'll go back to you guys.
So next up, it's time to discuss the sport in Portsmouth, and we have something a little different for you today, breakdancing.
Well, it might not be the first thing that comes to mind when discussing sports. Breakdancing, or breaking for short, is currently being considered as an addition to the 2024 Olympics in Paris.
Breakdancing is the perfect way to keep fit, learn a new skill and have fun, and here in Portsmouth it's never been easier to give it a go and get involved.
We went to speak to Sasha Biloshiski, a Portsmouth-based b-boy. Sasha teaches people of all ages and skill levels how to breakdance, so we thought we'd ask him to break it down for us and talk about how it can help bring the community together.
ThisIsPortsmouth is an authentic street dance company. It started in 2004 and it teaches and inspires people of different ages and different backgrounds and how to express themselves and how to find and build confidence. I started ThisIsPortsmouth because I wanted to share my experience of traveling the world as a performer and as a dance teacher, and also my passion for different street styles and learning them directly from the pioneers. People participate in our dance classes because they want to learn something new, a new way of activities, a new way of exercise, fitness. Some people come in because they like to share something they like with other positive, like-minded people.
I've been dancing all my life, but then I stopped for a few years, so I just Googled it and found it. And I'm very happy I joined it because it's very friendly, gives me a lot of energy and prepares me for the week, especially on a Monday evening. I like to dance with funk format because I enjoy the type of dancing. It doesn't feel like a class, it feels like I'm coming out to dance with my mates. And there's not a lot of places you can go and dance anymore.
Our participants' age ranges between 4 and over 60s, and when we teach workshops, some ages can go even beyond that. One of the students that I taught was in his 80s.
And don't forget, we'll be seeing more of Sasha at the end of the show, along with fellow b-boy Matt Thompson, as they'll be having a breakdancing battle in the studio.
Well, what did you think of that, Josh? Can you see yourself going to some breakdancing classes, maybe becoming a b-boy?
All I'm saying, Amelia, is don't be surprised if you see me on the podiums at the 2024 Olympics in Paris.
Well, I like your ambition, but your first lesson will have to wait, as it's time to check back in with Ethan and Nweza and see how those mince pies are coming along.
Cheers, guys. In Nweza, right, we finally got there in the end. I think my rolling technique could do with a bit of work.
A little bit.
But we got this. We've got the 12.
Yeah.
What are we doing next?
Okay, if you take over filling each of the mince pies with maybe 2 teaspoons of mince meat mixture in there. What's really nice to do with that is to add some apple or satsuma pieces in there. It gives
Very
it more
nice.
tang to it. While you do that, I'm going to make the frangipan mixture, which we're going to pipe on top.
What is frangipan? What actually goes into it?
It's basically kind of a cake batter, but you add ground almonds to give it
Very
that kind of nutty sort of texture to it.
Very festive.
So yeah, that's all it is.
Is this something that you at home, do you enjoy making the mince pies with the family? Is it something a bit of a tradition for you, do you think?
Yeah, I always like to put a twist on everything, really, and it's just a nice recipe which
Yeah.
I've adapted from Mr. Hollywood,
Very
where
nice.
this comes from, and yeah, and everyone gets loads of mince pies. These ones are a bit special, a bit
Absolutely.
different.
I think it's probably nice because you made them yourself as well instead of going to the shop to buy them.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a bit of an ultimatum.
Okay.
So, if I was to offer you the choice this Christmas that you could only eat the mince pies or a Christmas pudding, so you had to remove one, which one would you go with?
That's a really difficult one. I'm going to have to go with mince pies.
Really?
Yeah, I can't not have a mince pie.
I said to you the other week actually that I haven't eaten mince pies for a very long time, and I'm going to force myself to try one because I'm going to trust that yours are actually quite nice.
Well,
That's the plan.
I hope they
That's
are.
the plan.
I hope they are.
So what are we? So how are you getting on there? With
Right.
What is it you actually doing?
So this is caster sugar, butter, a little bit of I've forgotten the flour.
Keep. great start.
Right, then we just need 40 grams of flour, or else this isn't going to work.
I'm getting here with this. I'm hoping we can have. I've got another jar. And then it's literally so once you've done that, is it a matter of literally just sort of sticking it on the top
Yeah.
of the pies?
Yes. How much time have we got?
We've got a little bit of time.
Yeah,
We've got a
okay.
minute or so.
Now it looks okay.
That's better. That'd be an embarrassing way to end.
So we can either just spoon this on top, or I use a piping bag, but maybe we'll just spoon it on top, because that'll be
I've
quicker.
got this all over my hands. Quite messy stuff. I'll go for the second jar.
Okay.
I knew this was going to happen. I should have opened the jar before we started.
Okay.
That was always going to happen. I've not been able to open the jar.
While you do that, I'll put the mixture on top. So what happens when it bakes, the mincemeat cooks nicely,
Yeah.
the pastry cooks, and then you get a nice little cake on top, an almond cake. And we'll add some flaked almonds on top as well.
Very nice.
And hopefully you'll find it delicious.
Fingers crossed. And so this is going in the oven at what temperature-ish?
It goes at 180 degrees C, that's fan assisted. If you haven't got a fan oven, then 200. And just for about 20 minutes until it's brown.
Brown golden.
Brown golden, as these lovely mince pies
Well, they
are
do look
before
quite
you.
nice, those mince pies, actually. So how are they look? Well, I'll put a little bit more of that one in the back.
Yeah, that's right, nice and even. God, this is the record time for making mince pies.
I'm taking credit for that. Maybe I shouldn't actually.
Yeah.
And then, so they are literally in the oven 20 odd minutes.
20 minutes, golden brown, risen, and
that's it.
that's it. You know, it is quite simple.
That is, to be fair, I was expecting it to be one of those things where actually that's more difficult than I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
And was it? Thank you so much.
Very welcome.
We'll get on to enjoy them. Have a great Christmas as
Thank
well.
you, you too.
Josh and Amelia, what did you think? It's back to you.
Now, Amelia, how green would you say you are?
Well, it's a really bit of an odd question, Josh. I don't really have that much to be jealous of. I've got this lovely head of hair.
No, I see what you're doing. I meant how environmentally friendly do you think you are? Do you recycle, avoid wasting food or pick up litter?
I mean, I like to think that I do my bit, but I'm sure I could always be doing more. It's an interesting question though, Josh. With all the climate strikes going on over the last year and with organisations like Extinction Rebellion in the news near enough every day, it does make you wonder how we can help by changing things in our everyday lives.
Yeah, and what about our lovely studio audience? Let's have a look. Guys, raise your hands if you recycle. Oh, very impressive, very impressive. And out of you guys, who reuses those plastic bottles? Or a few less? Very good.
And who remembers to take their bags for life with them when they go shopping?
Oh, not as many as I thought. I'm one of them. I take my plastic bags with me.
Well, it seems we have a reasonably environmentally friendly audience with us in today, but there's always more that we could be getting involved in, and that all starts with being informed.
Exactly. There are so many ways to do your bit right here in Portsmouth, and there are organisations and people working all year round to help save our planet and make Portsmouth cleaner and greener. Let's take a look.
Portsmouth artist Peter Codling, who first moved to the UK from Zambia in 1969, had multiple designs across the great waterfront city. But in 2019, he decided to take matters into his own hands and build something a little bit more fish-friendly. Designed and created in a trend-setting way, he took on the big task of reducing plastic waste in the ocean and created this, the Tread Goldfish. And this is not the only environmentally friendly thing that the people of Portsmouth are doing. In Weza Nzegu, a contestant from Series 5 of the Great British Bake Off has started his own company, Be Locals, in the hope of bringing local food to local people. And I've come to his home in Portsmouth to find out all about it. So, Nweza, thanks for speaking to us. Let's start off, what is the company all about?
Well, the company's all about local food for local people.
What was it that sparked you to start the company? What was it that made you think this is something that the local community needs?
I've seen so much produce growing and it really frustrated me that I didn't know how I could buy it. So I thought I just want an opportunity where I can connect with some farmers who are producing food and find a way to bring it to the local market.
And have you seen the positive effects? Have you seen the effects that this company has had on local produce so far?
Well, people who are starting to connect with the company are, they've got quite strong environmental, sustainable values. They don't want their food to be transported lots of miles. They want their food to taste really good as well because, it doesn't have to be kind of preserved, as supermarkets have to do. Really, people are really engaging with the idea of being, more environmentally friendly.
Brilliant, Nweza. Thank you very much for speaking to us. From local food to the local environment, I've come to the South Sea Village to chat to Davine Levain, who's raised over £43,000 to establish Portsmouth's first plastic-free supermarket. So Delphine, tell me a little bit about what the project is all about.
Our aim is to open a plastic-free shop in Portsmouth, so one-stop shop where people will be able to buy their food without any packaging, or at least without any plastic packaging at first. So it basically works when you have products in dispensers, so gravity dispenser or bin dispensers, and you just take the amount of, let's say, rice you want in your own containers or in paper bags or in produce bags.
And why is it important that we're reducing the amount of plastic that we're putting into the environment?
We live in a society where a lot too much things are disposable, so we end up with like landfills full of plastic and not just the landfills but also the ocean.
And what other plans do you have for this project?
So we would like the shop to be not just a shop but also a community hub where people will be able to gather to discuss about a topic that seems to be important for them, to learn new things and also to make things.
Brilliant. Back to the studio.
Now, earlier this week, we had a competition on our social media to win the mince pies that we've made here in the studio today.
That's right, many of you entered the competition and the time has come to announce the winner. We have the names of all of those that have entered in front of us and it's time for the lucky dip. Josh, do you want to do the honours?
I would love to, Amelia, I'd love to. Here we go then. The winner is, the first winner, we've got two given away today. The first winner is, oh thank you, Madison Young. First winner is Madison Young. So she can come and grab those mince pies afterwards. Would you like to do the second one?
You can do
Oh, what a treat. Today's my lucky day. And the second winner is Dylan Peacock. Well done, Dylan. So if you guys want to grab your mince pies a little bit later, they are all yours.
Congratulations to you both.
Enjoy. I'm very jealous. My bad. Shall we?
Now, it's now time to welcome back Mweza onto the sofa.
And Weza, thank you very much for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you for helping us and helping Ethan especially. I'm sure he needs a bit of an extra hand.
He was fine. We've worked together a few times.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
Well, you guys did great. Now, Mweza, just before we get into things, is it true that you ran the Great South Run barefoot? Why did you do that?
I didn't actually run it barefoot. I thought about it and I practiced running, but I got to about 5 miles and started to get a few bit of pain. I thought, no, this is not for me. So it was a false dawn.
Ah, well, it makes sense that you probably decided to put some shoes on. And
Yes.
It's a bit more sensible. But you're involved with Be Local, aren't you? That's your company. So
Yeah.
just tell us a little bit about what they do and how easy is it to source food from local farms?
Well, it's been a frustration for me for years. I like to cycle around in the countryside. I cycle everywhere. I'd see so much stuff growing, some, vegetables, things like that, animals, and I thought, how can I get hold of this? Because, you go to the supermarket and you get what the supermarket gives you. So I wanted to bring local food to local people, and you got the food miles being a lot less. So it's not that easy, but I started knocking on a few doors and the farming community have been really supportive of the idea.
Oh, fun.
That's amazing. So what actually started your passion for food and what made you want to go on to Bake Off?
I've just always loved food. I mean, at heart, I'm quite greedy. And you can't afford to buy everything from a restaurant. So I just started to make things myself. Start with a roast dinner at uni, and then I love pies, so I started making pies. I just got better and better. And I started a baking group, and just one thing led after the other. And someone said, oh, you really should go and Bake Off. So I applied, and I did.
Yeah, and you did very well as well. You did, I'm sure, we all know you did. So just tell us, how can sourcing food locally, how does that help the environment?
Well, it helps the environment because of the amount of energy that goes to producing food and transporting it around the world. If you go to any supermarket, you see where the apples come from, where you see the vegetables come from. It comes from halfway around the world. I was in Tesco the other day, and I had some apples in my hand. Same brand came from New Zealand and from Peru. And I thought, you know what, I could get that down the road.
Yeah.
Why can't I get it down the road? So if you buy locally, it just, helps the local economy. British farming standards are really good for sustainability compared to other parts of the world, and it doesn't have to travel so far. And the product's great. I mean, it's top quality.
So what actually makes a company like Be Locals so important?
Well, I think Be Locals, the reason I set it up is there's just this change in the air now, plastic, climate change, local food, this hyper-local idea to be more sustainable. I just think that's where we need to be heading to protect the environment, and so that, my company and others like it are really trying to get that message accepted.
Yeah, I love that. So tell us very quickly, what is next for yourself and for Be Locals as well?
Well, at the moment, you know, Be Locals is quite small. We're just trying to get the message out there. What I'd like to do is prove it in this area, around the Portsmouth area, Emsworth, places like that, and then set up lots of little Be Locals everywhere and just grow that way. You know, every local community taking advantage of what they grow and what they produce, and hopefully more producers get inspired by that and start to produce their own local produce.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you very much, and Weza,
Thanks
thank you for joining us. As luck would have it, as this show has been going on, there have been climate strikes taking place in locations across the globe, and Portsmouth is absolutely no different.
Similar strikes took place on the 20th and 27th of September of this year, which got over 7 million people involved with the cause. We have Azan live at the protest now, and he's currently out by Guildhall Square, where the bulk of Portsmouth protests are taking place.
That's great. Thank you both. Thank you very much for coming on. Azan, how are things looking over there?
Hi guys, we're down at the climate action protest at Guildhall Square today, where we've got the protest coming down here. It's the 6th year in a row, so it's quite a big turnout. We've got some speakers talking. I did actually get a chance to speak to a few protesters earlier. They were telling me that it's the little things that make a big difference. So, for example, using refillable water bottles, plastic bags when you go grocery shopping, and you know, another thing they're pushing as well is votes. So make sure you do vote this general election. But yeah, that's about it, guys. It's really nice to see all the community come out together. We're all together. If you guys want to come down, it finishes at 2 o'clock today. Get yourself down. Come support a great movement. Yeah, it's really nice to see everyone come together. So back to you in the studio, guys. Thank you very much.
That, ladies and gentlemen, fine citizens of Portsmouth, was our show for you today.
A massive thank you to all of our guests and to everyone who has helped make these shows possible. We've had a blast and we hope you have all enjoyed it too.
We'll be taking a little break now for the holiday season, but we'll be back again on January 31st to continue filling you in on everything and anything Portsmouth.
Hopefully we've inspired you to venture out to various places over the holidays. And until next time, from all of us at This Is Portsmouth, we hope you have an amazing few weeks.
Now, to see us out, we promised you a breakdancing battle, and we're giving you a breakdancing battle.
Sasha and Matt, please take it away. Hey.